Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
I duck in it. 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 I have a question. Who does go to work on a Thursday or even a Friday when it have parties? I still put on my work clothes, but I just stay to wine and the shorty. She tell me she up there. Tell my supervisor I sick, have diarrhea and I need to shoot. I need to go to the pharmacy, but I end up in fire the work. I will jump up and whining down, pumping just like a hooligan when I turn around and see my boss in the place. If you see me again, I don't want my boss to see, so I take it. Don't want him to fire me, so I take it. Post to be in the pharmacy, so I take it. Yeah. If you see me whine, 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 and I take it, choke, 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 and I take it. If you see me whine, 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 and I take it, choke, 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 and I take it. You see, my girlfriend don't trust me. She friends just accuse me, say I just horn shake. But I am not able, relationship stable. I hope we don't crumble. My ex-girlfriend called me to fret. If you see Benjamin getting on wet, why not we wine till we full of sweat? I have no regrets, sir. Someone tell me turn around. When my woman come on from my car, make she see me here with my ex-woman. If you see me again, I don't want my girl to see, so I take it. Don't want she break up with me, so I take it. If she come back this back and dance, so I take it. Charm me down in the carnival, look at wine, wine, so I take it. Don't want she break up with me, so I take it. If she come, that is back and down, so I take it. Jamming down in the carnival, look at wine, 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 and I take it. Choke, 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 can I take it? If you see me wine, 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 and I take it. Choke, 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 can I take it? I don't get it. Trinidad, I don't get it. Viral media, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Wake up, rise up. It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Oh yes, and we want to start your day right. And once you're here on your Era TT Radio, Net Radio, you know your day is starting off in a good way, right? Who does go to work on a day like today? A Thursday or Friday? Madness, especially when it's a party. Nah. But guess what? We go to work. And that is where we are at right about now. So good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. Neighbors in the Caribbean. How are you doing? Friends and family who are streaming all around the globe, good day to you. And of course, I thank you so much for making us your choice each and every day. Yes, we know you have choices, but it just shows that you have great taste in radio stations, yeah? Much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing honor to you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I. Very happy am I actually today. Cheers to the weekend. To be in your space, in your faces. And it's even a little more happier because you know what? It's the Friday edition. This is your Get Up and Go. Everybody, this is the Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your double or your morning drink.
It's a Friday, baby. To the world. Shake what your mama gave ya. Hey. Your weekend starts right here, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Take what your mama gave you.
Yeah, you do that and do that well. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody in the spaces wherever you may be. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe, especially those beautiful, and it's proven now, it's a proven fact now, that the most beautiful woman in the world comes from Ethiopia. The most beautiful woman in the world comes from Ethiopia. Captain Ron, morning, and thank you very much for that video.
He sent some video to tell you that now.
Yeah, he sent a video of the top 5 beautiful women in the world,
and 3 from Ethiopia.
Ethiopian women are number 1.
Yeah. I've heard them said that for a long time too.
I've heard that too, but you know, he was happy to send that for me yesterday.
Yes.
So good morning.
So can we safely say that Captain Ron know where to shop?
You make me cough, yes?
Yeah, I know that is why I don't want to go to Ethiopia, you know. Despite everything that has
But I want
happened.
to see if he's speaking the truth.
Yeah. You know, Sparrow sang that in a song, eh? Not necessarily saying like Ethiopia or here, but you know what he talk about. I never heard our bit yet. So maybe when we go to Ethiopia, we go to different places, and you know, experience the culture of the different places.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love Africa, but as a matter of fact, of the top 5 beautiful women in Africa, I haven't been to any one of those countries in Africa.
Yes.
The 5
It
of them.
it was the top 5 African thing, or
Yeah,
5.
it was top 5 African, but I have no doubt that Ethiopia might be the top in the world anyway. But it's the top 5 African, and they were. Did I send it in the group?
I can't remember seeing it in the group, but maybe you did, and just didn't check it. Ghana up inside of there too?
No, that's what I'm saying. Ghana not there.
Okay.
Senegal not there. Egypt. Those are the 3 places I visited, and Gambia. But Kenya is there. Nigeria is there. I think Ivory Coast is there.
Yeah.
I'll find it and send it.
There's this particular area, one of those things that has this very dark colored people on the whole. Very, very dark.
Yeah, but that would be Senegal.
Almost shiny dark.
So number 5 is Ivory Coast. I'm just going through the video while I'm speaking, right? Number 4 is Kenyan. Let me see. Number 3 is Tanzania. Tanzanian woman. That's one of the places where I want to go. Number 2 is Nigeria. And number 1 is Ethiopia.
Yeah, Nigeria is a place I would always like to go.
Yeah.
Nigeria is also one to time. I remember Julius Nyeri. I think that's the same.
Yes. Nyeri. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. Ivory Coast, Kenya, Tanzania, Nigeria. I said Nigeria already. No, Nigeria and Ethiopia.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, people all over the globe. Otherwise, you know, I'm in a good mood today because I had some good news yesterday. I saw 2 people I really wanted to see here in Trinidad. So, so I'm in a better mood than I was for the entire week.
That is good. I'm happy to hear that. And going into the weekend, they deserve that sort of thing, man. God, they give you so much stress.
Oh, telling me. And of course, today is karaoke down at Rumbox. Karaoke prize giving.
Yeah.
You know, and a little mix and mingle down at Rumbox this afternoon at 4 p.m.
Yeah, I'll come online by Rumbox, man.
Yeah,
I'll come earlier because we start on time.
Well, I can speak for me and Sir Charles. We can't talk for Richard. We can't talk for Richard.
Right now, we hear that he's coming up from Cedros. Yeah, I hear they went serious to get the authentic feeling yesterday. So yeah, I don't know if they went for coconuts and what is they said they passed to see something with some turtles. Yeah. She's just busy. She's already lucky, man. Well, they're in the spotlight this weekend.
Hey.
Yeah. Right.
So they say you went Morocco, Ethiopia, and Uganda. I've always heard about. Morocco. I was supposed to go Morocco, and the day we were supposed to go because Morocco is literally right next to Portugal, and there was an earthquake in Morocco that decimated some parts of Marrakesh. The same day we were supposed to go across, you know. So we had to change our mind, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things happen. Those are the natural disasters you have no control over.
None. Anyway, let me just say happy birthday to my friend, old schoolmate, Jacinto Martinez. the brother of course, former Mayor Joel Martinez. Jacinto is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jacinto. And anyone else celebrating birthdays today? Today is the 27th of February. Tomorrow, of course, is the final day, and then the day that everybody just wonder how to celebrate the birthday. Either the 29th of February or the 1st of March.
Or the 1st, yeah.
Of course, we have no 29th of February this year. But for those who were born on 29th of February, you have a decision to make.
You know, I have a friend that actually, and she was actually born on the 29th, but she says she is registered for the 28th because her parents didn't want no confusion going down the road. They tell her, look, you will celebrate on the 28th. You were already born on the 29th, but, you know, to avoid when and skipping and all those different kinds of things, you're going to be just register you on the 28th. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I guess people as I say born on that, they have a decision to make.
My grandmother-in-law celebrates her birthday tomorrow also. She'll be 89 years old when down.
Oh, wow, nice.
89 and does everything for herself. Yeah.
You know, as we
admire people like that.
We had a program on dementia yesterday and people wandering off and so on, and bam, news came that a woman in Diego Martin had wandered off. But it came later on that she was found.
Yeah.
You understand? But I said, what a thing, what a coincidence that and something like that would make the news almost immediately. Right?
Yeah, we got a lot of good feedback from that program yesterday. Yes. We're very appreciative of it. And some people were saying that they learned so much from it, and looking forward to when Dr. Maharaj is his name.
Yes, Nicholas Maharaj. Yes.
Right, when he comes back again.
Yeah. Anyway, good morning, Gaylan Perrott, who said she'll be at Rumbox later. She said to tell a particular person she'll be at Rumbox later. I can't say the person name on air.
Who's that? Corey? Corey! My mischievous friends.
So if you all never knew who Gaylan was, you'll meet her at Rumbox later also, right?
Yeah,
she's that woman from the far country in Tamana who does reggae, right? And who's been doing it for years. She and Shane, the ultimate DJ Shane.
Yeah. Born with a reggae stick.
Born with a reggae stick.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something else.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to behave today. But this weekend, folks, too, is Carifta Games Trials. It's taking place at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. So go down and support the young people. I know I'll be there. Carifta Games Trials.
Saturday and Sunday or just Monday?
Sunday. Yes, Saturday and Sunday. Right?
Nice.
That's taking place. Right?
If you feel you have talent, you can just show up and take part, or you have to come through some.
No. I guess you would have had to register, I guess, through a club. Or I don't know how exactly it's done, coming to think of it. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it's done. If it's through the clubs or I guess you could register on your own. You know what I mean? And once you get a certain qualification time and so on. Because there will be the heats, there will be the semi-finals, and then there'll be the finals in different races now.
Right.
So by after this weekend, we'll know who's going to Grenada, because the Carifta Games is in Grenada in April, first week of April. Right? So go out and support the young people. They would like to see a stadium with people.
That's
not
right,
just with brother or sister or mother or father. With people watching them. All right?
Yeah, that should be a nice thing. It's kind of, all these things are kind of toned down now, like not like before the hype of Hampton Games, But go out and check it out. And if you feel they have the talent also, or your child, go and check it out and see if you can register and see if you can make the cut. That might be a whole new door opening for you all there,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do a good news and then we come back and greet the people in the chat.
All right.
I love Trinis. I love Trinidad and Tobago. I came here 2 days ago, by the way. I'm still here. I got here the 24th. A few days before Christmas, I decided I want to lay on the beach for Christmas this year, and I found a cheap flight to Trinidad. And I have to say something. Today, just my trip in general, over the past 2 days, this is one of the greatest experiences of my life in this country. And I've been to over 30 countries at this point. First of all, it has the best Caribbean food of any of the Caribbean nations. And the kindness, the warmth, the happiness from these people. I have never seen anything like this ever in my entire life. My heart is so full, and I love Trinidad. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming to Trinidad. Really appreciate that.
Short and sweet. Short and
Yes,
sweet.
yes. You know, thanks for loving up our country and for all our citizens who are treating our guests whenever they arrive. Very good. That is nice. You know, I hope you treat everybody good. You have some people that treat the guests on them good and treat everybody else bad.
like some places in Tobago. Some places in Tobago, that's a lot of people experience, eh?
Yeah, some people don't like people in general, you know, but when they come out with money in your hand, they appreciate you, they love you. And after that is it.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Let me wish. Don't start me up there now, Sir Charles. About people who like to use. Anyway. Christine Niles is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Christine. And that's coming from your darling husband, Ben, your daughter, Nelicia. All right. Happy birthday. You're celebrating your birthday tomorrow. So he wake me up bright and early this morning to make sure that those greetings go out, right? Happy birthday, Christine. And of course, Gaylan, the person who you send the greeting for, say, I love you. And send that back to her. So between the two, all you know who you're talking about, right? I'm only calling your name. Don't even call the other person's name. You got a real bacchanal on this radio. real bacchanal. So let me greet the people in the chat.
Yeah.
Real stories come out yesterday, boy. Wow. And one of the most, how I should put it, explosive could be the interview that the Barbados Prime Minister did with CBC, I think. CBC or BBC? CBC. It can be it can cause even more fracture within the CARICOM. I don't know. We'll try to play it for you all this morning. All right. Margaret Thomas says, happy Friday, guys. She came in at 12:43. Joyce Phillip, Ava Smith says, good morning and thanks for the Most High for another fantastic Friday and safe weekend. Robert Allen, of course, the winner of Karaoke. You'll meet him later.
I'm to see Robert today, man.
Yeah, you'll meet him later down at Rumbox. We might get him to sing a few words. Odell Guy from Sangre Grande, morning, Odell. Eunice Dublin, wake up late today. Nicola McNichol says good morning. Diane Payne, Apollonius, it's Friday morning. Marlon Motley, of course, from North Valsayn. Trini Merle Kitchen from Oshawa, Ontario. Manuela Peters says, good morning, Lorna Matthews. Have an awesome weekend. That's a special greeting to Lorna. Boy Bidesi from Daybell, morning, boy. Morning, Kathy and Charles and Arlene from Bronxville, Texas. Carol Guevara from Chaguanas. Doreen Pierre, Brennan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago. Carla Hercules, Diana Hamill from Cuba. Good morning, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima. CJ from New York, morning, CJ. She sent me a picture of she and her mom before she passed yesterday. Merle McCormick, Carol Guevara is singing. Ilarizan, Nazir Ali, good morning. Pamela O'Connor. My mother is 100 years old, so she's dealing with that. So thanks for the interview yesterday. You're most welcome, Pamela. It's a challenge, trust me. Margarita Chow, good morning, gentlemen. Have a great weekend. Magic says good morning. Carlisle Cupid. I think, Carla Cupid, I think I've connected you with someone who calls, and I'm almost certain I'm correct. Barry Mendoza, Hillbench, blessings, Wendell, Richard, and Sir Charles. Diana Hamill, you're welcome, Sir Charles. Yes, we've got great taste. Breakfast show every day on repeat on weekends. Sometimes I watch over the breakfast show. I do, because sometimes I just feel for a good laugh and I watch over the breakfast show. Or some information that I may have missed. Yeah. And I look at it. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Kenny in Harlem, but he's in Valsain. Sankofa say bountiful graces. Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine. Dave Gosai, morning Dave. Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach. Claire Lendo Rollins. Carol Guevara is saying happy birthday to her cousin, more like a brother, Steve Craig. He's down in St. Margaret's Village in Claxton Bay. Happy birthday, Steve. Sherwin Kerr says, guys, sorry, can't make the karaoke line later. We'll be off to Tobago later for his friend Brennan Smith's birthday. Also, Brennan Smith is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Brennan, in advance. And of course, safe trips, safe travels, Sherwin. Kim Govaya says a very blessed day to everyone. Good morning to the host of this wonderful program. Thanks to yesterday's health info too. Bernadette and Nelicia Yates says, good morning. Nelicia, I want to thank you in advance. I understand you sent a gift for me from some West Indies pins. Paul contacted me, so thank you in advance, Nelicia. Jason Samuel, approximately 490 registrants from 43 participating clubs are expected to compete, and that's in the Carifta Games trials this weekend. All right, so go out and support them, please, people. Chris Tusa says, Grand Rising, gentlemen, happy Friday. I just had to read you before I read you,
Who is that, Chris?
Yeah, what? Not easy, He said what? I think all they need a woman on the show. I hear scandal in Just is about Wendell and Amanda, the old news lady. You see why I had to read them before?
Don't worry, by tomorrow you will find out, Chris.
Scorpion Pepper says, good morning, happy Friday, the weekend is here. Kim Govaya, that's good news, thanks to Trinidad. Susie B, morning, Susie. Robert Harper also sends good morning and continuous blessings. I heard on the 6M news that Venezuela condemned the PM's position. Yeah, that actually came out since yesterday. But more condemnatory is the comment from the Barbados Prime Minister. She said that to accuse Barbados of kidnapping is a scurrilous lie and defamatory. We'll play that video for you. Don't worry. Ron DeSantis Jr., she'd be saying more. What, Wendell, making connections? Are you matchmaking? No, I was making connection between a name on the chat and a caller. That's the connection I was making. Scorpion Pepper, I'm sure I'll see you later, right? And Michael Robinson, last messenger from Yokohama, Japan, where I have every intention of also visiting this year. Right? Those are the greetings on the chat.
Yeah, real money to spend this year. Yeah, real money to spend in travel. Anyhow, all right, so the people who came in on the WhatsApp very early this morning, good morning to Pauline. And thank you very much, Pauline. Zena was up very early today. She says she's not missing nothing on the show today. Frank out there in Aruka, good morning. Terry Ann Peters, good morning. Kent in Laventille. Patsy out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Good morning to you, Patsy. Rena Buddha Jennings up very early. CJ out there in New York. Mark, Mr. Beeps out there in Pitti Valley. Brenda in Pina, looking forward to meeting you this evening. Brenda, Karaoke Prize Distribution, and of course, Archbishop Ashton Clark. Good morning to the folks out there on Gaia Caribbean TV. We are happy to have you all here on the net also. Yeah. Good morning, Richard. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys. And sorry for my lateness again this morning. But yeah, I'm fine. And it's Friday, so it's time to be in a good mood. If you weren't earlier in the week, It's Friday, so put a smile on your face. And of course, good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are. And what else can I say? But it's Friday. Of course, theater starts tomorrow for 2026. And of course, we start at the Central Bank Auditorium with Scandal in Cedars. So it's on tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. And of course, I need to tell you that online ticket sales for Saturday night are sold out. So you can't buy tickets online anymore for Saturday night. You can still buy for Sunday show, but Saturday you can't buy any tickets anymore online. And of course, tickets are, I think some Saturday night tickets are already sold out at some outlets. So whatever outlets you're going to, you should probably check them before. But some of them still have tickets, but check them. K Squared Fashions in West Mall, Eastgate, and Brentwood Mall in Chagodas, Jubilee Railway in Tunapuna, and Tony's Florence in Val Park Shopping Plaza, Electronics Arima, and of course, Sharpflair Auto Services in Sharpflair. Get your tickets early. I know the box office still has tickets, so you can check the box office for sure. Central Bank Auditorium box office, but they have a limited supply. I don't think they have any more reserved seating for Saturday night, but you could probably check. So Saturday night show you can get your tickets, and for Saturday and Sunday at the Central Bank box office, which opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, from tomorrow straight through to showtime basically, and Sunday straight through to showtime. So so Scandal and Cedros, we are on first play of 2026 starts tomorrow.
Why am I looking so extremely dark this morning? My background is, I want all my lights, same lights. Oh, there you go. I don't know what happened there.
Just adjusted, the camera just adjusted.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
All right, people, we're going for that break, and we shall be back in a short.
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026, Scandal in Cedros. What can possibly be going on in Cedros? Scandal in Cedros premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedros. You ain't ready for this
Scandal
one.
in Cedros, boy, the place got mad.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Let's greet a couple more people on the chat. Julia, Samantha, Terry and George. Who else came in after there? Ambrose Blah also came in. He says, Richard, what are you waiting on to grace us with these plays in Brooklyn? All right. Ambrose Blah, once you get a nice big sponsor for him, for he and his crew, and of course I'm coming as assistant manager. We'll consider it. We're going at Radio City. You want to do a Radio City, Richard, in Manhattan? You can go Radio City.
You might have to go to like Brooklyn University or something. You know, many universities have fantastic theaters that actually hold more people than our largest theater. And these are university theaters.
University theaters, yes, New York.
And sometimes hold more people than our largest theater, believe it or not. You know? So just as an update, I was just told by the production team that K Squared West Mall and K Squared in Brentwood Mall in Chaponas have no Saturday tickets. You can get Sunday tickets. But for Saturday tickets, you're better to go to K Squared in Trin City Mall. Not Trin City Mall, in Eastgate. They still have some tickets, or you can get your tickets at some of the other outlets, still have a few, and of course at the box office at Central Bank Auditorium. So those of you in the Port of Spain area, they would have gone to K Square West Mall for Saturday night tickets. No, you'll have to go to the Central Bank Auditorium box office. They were listening and corrected me immediately.
Only better try and go this morning that way. We plan on going to the show this morning. Try and go this morning.
All right, so let's get to the headlines of today's Express Online. And I didn't even see this piece of news. I didn't see it trending anywhere on social media. Triple murder in Port of Spain. 3 men were shot dead in the early hours of Friday. That's this morning. In Port of Spain. Wow. After Rubio's pledge of aid, union backs refinery restart. Hey, Ansel Roger finally speaks up. Appeal court overturns ruling, and that's the ruling with CIB, Clico Investment Bank, and Andre Montai. The appeal court has overturned the ruling of them to repay $78 million. Yeah.
The appeal court has been very busy overturning things from Trinidad and Tobago recently.
Well, they had reduced a certain gentleman's fine, and the Privy Council reinstated it. They had reduced a $525,000 what's they call it? Libelous charge. Damages, and they had reduced it to $10,000. Well, the Privy Council reinstate that amount.
No.
Yeah.
No, they didn't reinstate it, you know. They said the 10,000 was ridiculously low in terms of, it kind of buffed the Court of Appeal in a kind of way.
They did.
I thought, in terms of reading it, if you understand the language, but so basically it was a little bit of, chiding of the Court of Appeal, in my opinion, but but they said how it has to go back to the High Court for damages assessment, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, the High Court had already awarded.
So they're saying you go back again, because it was reduced to 10, go back to the High Court and let them assess damages. Again, taking into consideration X, Y, and Z.
Well, the High Court should double it.
So
I ain't even calling the name of the person, because you know me, I don't use no news from that person at all.
Yeah, don't get involved. But go ahead with the headlines.
Venezuela slams Kamala over CARICOM remarks. That's also trending in the newspapers. Foreign investors eye reopening. I tell you that Petrochin not going to reopen. Oil leak forces closure of San Fernando East Secondary School. Trump invite a mega development for TNT, so says Hamid Ghani. We spoke about that yesterday. I don't know why it's back in the news today. So those are all trending stories in today's Express Online. All right.
Yeah. So let me get to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. The Trinidad and Tobago what did I do?
Not get it. That's it.
No, I kind of went through because I was reading an article in it, so I had to go back. So the headlines on the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. Motley, and that's Mia Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, rejects Kamala's claim that Brent Thomas was abducted from Barbados, says it's defamatory in the extreme and a scurrilous lie. So that there's a rejection of that. Leaders hit back at Kamala. CARICOM hands may be tied on Cuba, says Scarrett, ahead of PM summit meeting with Trump. And Cuba thanks TNT Trinidad and Tobago for its love amid U.S. blockade. And let me see what other. Privy Council orders new assessment. You see, this is the chairman then. Privy Council orders new assessment of defamation damages against Philip Alexander. Cuba thanks TNT, but I said that already. Probe launched after marijuana disappears from Chaguanas police station. You saw that one, right? You spoke about that already?
No, not as yet, but
yeah. Well, apparently, marijuana was disappeared from the Chaguanas police station and was replaced with bricks.
With pieces of wood.
With pieces of wood. That was it, yeah. So you go and see the evidence locker, remove the marijuana and put the wood and tie it back and say nobody will know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so a probe has been launched.
I tell already TTPS hopeless, you know.
Well, not all of them, but
you remember not too long
I
ago.
never said all of them.
You say all of them already. You said 90% of the. You said 99% of the men should go.
All right. So let me.
90% of the woman.
Right.
You recorded. You know. You recorded, right?
Okay. So I did say 99%. I will say 99.9 now. You happy?
Oh, you're moving up. You're moving closer to the 100.
Anyway.
But there was a situation like that not too long ago in Barataria where they moved the drugs and put stone and all kind of thing.
Yes.
We never heard anything come out of that.
No, and you never will hear anything come out of this either.
Anyway, probe launch after marijuana disappears from Chaguanas police station. Refineries restart hinges on cash and crude, so Enoch economist warns. Experts warn TNT now facing adolescent mental health crisis. Okay. I'm not so sure where that came from, but that's what the headline says. Father of two gunned down in Santa Cruz. Ratimam appoints veterinary surgeons registration board. EMA meets upstream oil and gas producers on CEC process. CPO meets CGWTU on workers agreement, and 4 arrested in Northern Division operation. Okay, I think basically I covered most of the headlines there. All right, and that's the headlines in the Guardian, trying to be Guardian for Friday morning.
All right, let's do our Did You Know segment, and we'll get back into everything else that is happening.
At 14 years old, he wrote Flight Lieutenant Ulric Cross, DFC, in his school books, a dream so audacious his classmates probably laughed. By age 27, he'd earned every word of it and become the most feared navigator the Nazis never saw coming. They called him the Black Hornet. Squadron leader Ulric Cross from Trinidad flew 80 combat missions with the RAF's elite Pathfinder force, the squadrons that marked targets so the main bombers knew where to strike. According to RAF museum records, he twice refused to rest after completing 30 missions when protocol said he could stop. He kept flying. RAF Bomber Command archives document that his exceptional navigation skills helped prevent 200 Allied bombers from being shot down during raids over Germany in 1943. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross in June 1944 and the Distinguished Service Order in 1945, making him the most decorated Caribbean airman of World War II. After the war, he became a high court judge, helped build nations across Africa, and lived to 96. Drop a comment sharing which part inspired you most. Hit follow for heroes who rewrote history, and share this because some legends deserve their flowers. Who else from the Caribbean should we uncover?
Ulric Cross.
Yeah. Kim Govaya, I want to respond to a comment you made here. It's so sad. This is Kim Govaya's comment. It is so sad hearing of these murders, yet no protesters. Should it be a police shooting? Well, need not say more. Now, that's a comment commonly used by some people on social media, right? Here my response to that. You know why you get people protesting when police kill people? Largely because they don't believe the police version of it. You understand? Largely because the police version of it can't be proven, and we see the evidence of that. So you'll find communities raise up and rile up when the police shoot someone, especially when they say the people shot at them and they had to shoot back and all that, or the person had a gun and whatnot. A lot of times we have seen and heard that those things are not true. You understand? So you'll get protests for that. You won't get protests. You'll hardly ever get protests when these little criminals kill other people, because you expect that stupidness to happen. Criminals killing other people and so on. There's no duty of responsibility on the criminal to be mindful of that other person. You understand? They don't care. You understand? They're killing for whatever. Even if they mash your toe, they're finding a reason to come and kill you. Right? So that answers that. And we have too many instances of police shooting people in this place and giving a different story. That's why you'll get protests. Right? All right. So that's it. That is my rant.
Right. Okay, so let me play this for you because I know this is where the pool is coming from, right?
Yeah.
Kidnapping is a most unfortunate term because arrest warrants were presented by the Trinidad police to the Barbados police. As to what happened, we don't know because we don't get involved in operation matters. So as it transpired, we knew nothing about it. It is only when this matter became a public issue that we then had to launch an investigation into what transpired. And it was clear that the Trinidad and Tobago police, as has been the practice for decades in this region, would have supplied an arrest warrant which the Barbados police would have acted upon. We understood at the time, and we said, our Attorney General said at the time, that the formal process of extradition, which we do extra-regionally with other countries, has not and was not practiced in the region among ourselves by any country in the region. And therefore, to that extent, we acknowledge that we need to be able to change how we operate. That is why the CARICOM arrest warrant is being pursued. That is why legislation has to be passed in every CARICOM country to be able to facilitate that CARICOM arrest warrant. But to describe it as kidnapping or to suggest that any member of cabinet or any member of the permanent secretary class or government of Barbados is involved in kidnapping is a scurrilous lie and defamatory in the extreme. We all know what transpired, and it is regrettable that it happened. We also have, for example, as I said, the ministerial statements to Parliament of both our former Attorney General in 2023 and the former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago.
You know what is interesting about that entire situation is that we had two Attorney Generals apologize for what transpired in that Brent Thomas case and have apologized to Barbados concerning it.
Mm-hmm.
So Attorney General Reginald Armour back then would have also apologized to the Barbadian government and the Royal Barbados Police Force at the time for the slur cast on the island's police force following the assistance to Trinidad and Tobago's police service in seeking to bring Brent Thomas to justice. So whatever the operational genesis was from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service perspective, it had a domino effect in terms of what happened in Barbados. Mm-hmm. And we and our Attorney General had to apologize to Barbados as the Barbados government and the Barbados Royal Barbados Police Force for what happened and what transpired in that Ben Thomas case. And I think Attorney General John Jeremy, Senior Counsel, also apologized to the Barbados government. Now, you may be wondering why I'm stressing on this. Beyond what Prime Minister Mia Mottley would have said, it contextualizes in a particular way how the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service sometimes operates in terms of whatever operational processes in terms of achieving a particular end. Mm-hmm. This incident shows that, and it cost the taxpayer money.
Yes.
All right? Yet, here's my bigger point. Yet, you have citizens of this country. We get examples of it all the time. And yet you have citizens of this country that support giving police power and to give up their constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
we have clear examples there, and it's like, I'm like, don't people critical think anymore?
Richard, and this came out.
I mean, that's not my responsibility to tell you how to critically think, but whatever. Human beings are incredible. I'm like, and how could you, and I always go back to this is the same Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that locked down the entire country because they had a terms and conditions issue.
Yeah.
That made international news because it was unheard of that a police service caused gridlock on the roads of a country to make a point for terms and conditions. And yet there are people who advocate, yeah, give them more power and give up our rights. No, that's incredible.
Yeah. And this operation came out of the Professional Standards Bureau. Don't ask me why it would have been part of their mandate to do this operation. And the person who was heading the Professional Standards Bureau at the time, after all was said and done, was promoted, you know. That person was promoted, you know.
Yes. But Wendell, up to this morning, we just read that a police station went into some kind of lockdown, semi or full, because marijuana was removed from an evidence locker and blocks of wood. And Sir Charles had to correct us and say, that's not the only time they put stone in another one before.
Yeah.
That's the TTPS. No. Is it extremely bad PR for the TTPS and all of those things that I just mentioned? Absolutely, it's bad PR. Does that mean that the TTPS does not do good work from time to time? Absolutely not. That's not what it means. Because both things can be right at the same time. That you can still be doing good work in certain situations and circumstances where citizens do get relief and they have a good experience in interfacing with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But there's also a lot wrong.
What is really tiring about all of this is that these things continue to happen. And even Mr. Thomas himself is asking the question, where is it? Where did it come from? Who? So whoever was responsible, whether it was in the TPS or it was politically engineered, it is something that we may never really find out.
But and Sir Charles, I'm glad you said what you just said, because the danger is, and Gary has been saying it, the danger is that politicians can sway the thinking and the actions of the TTPS. It was an accusation made against politicians then, and it's an accusation that could be made against politicians now. What is their obsession to control these rogue people? What is the obsession?
I don't even know, but Wendell, I want to part ways with you. I don't think there's an obsession by politicians to control the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, you know. There sometimes is a blurring of the lines between police and their operational duty and mandate vis-a-vis the coziness in the relationship with politicians and certain politicians. And the TTPS needs to understand that you have a mandate that is separate and distinct and independent from whatever politicians want. But when you have a coziness and everybody lining and laughing together in a kind of particular way, sometimes that line gets blurred. Especially in a small space. It happens internationally too, on a certain level, especially in places like the US, where sometimes the head of the police is actually elected. But you have to be able to understand what your professional duty is and separate it from that. But it goes back to the fundamental issues that you have and the batch mentality, because many times people know that what their fellow officers are doing is wrong. They know that they're framing people. They know that they're breaking the rules and in fact breaking the law in terms of how they're treating the citizens, but they go along with it because of the batch mentality.
Listen, I don't even want to hear the words Professional Standards Bureau. I don't want to hear them words. At one point in time, I used to be high in praise of them. And Paul Richards on the show, I remember he used to say, Wendell, you're wrong. They're a waste of time. And I used to say, no, Paul. And then I had to confess to him one day. I say, Paul, you're right. The Professional Standards Bureau is a complete waste of time in the TTPS. I'm sorry to say that way.
Yeah. But that blurring of the lines that Richard is talking about too, and maybe that happens because of how we go about appointing police commissioners, where the political arm of has a major say as to if you come or go.
That's a very valid point, Sir Charles. And it's really the majority that rules in Parliament on that issue. It's not like a no conscience vote where you relinquish people from party line voting with regard to the Commissioner of Police appointment.
Yeah.
You follow party lines. So it becomes dependent on ultimately on what the Prime Minister wants.
But just remember, in this case, this Commissioner of Police was recommended prior to a change of government. His recommendation of the PSC. The PSC was changed. Remember, there was a whole back and forth with the Police Service Commission. They were changed. And then a new PSC came into office. And they were the ones who came up with this gentleman as the front runner for Commissioner of Police. Government subsequently changed. And when the government changed, they basically went along with the recommendation of the PSC that they said was politically appointed by the previous government. You understand what I'm saying?
But I am not even getting into, you getting into the personalities themselves. I'm not even getting into that. Because I have no issue with that.
Personalities, eh?
No, well, I have no issue with Alistair Guevara as the Commissioner of Police. He might eventually turn out to be an excellent Commissioner of Police. All right, but what I'm talking about is the process and going to what Sir Charles' point is. Sir Charles' point was the process has too much of a political color. And he's right, because it ultimately is still the Prime Minister's prerogative in whether they are going to veto or go along with what the Police Service Commission says. So if the Police Service Commission is truly independent, and you trust the people who have been appointed to that commission, and it's a commission, so it's outside the interference of the political arm, so to speak. Well, it's supposed to be in a perfect world. There is a gap between them in terms of our checks and balances. So if the Police Service Commission is really independent, then they should select the Commissioner of Police. But what happens is that you give them the power, but then you don't really give them the power, because you could say, well, we don't agree, and the PNM did that, Wendell. Yes. They said no, yes.
Yes, right.
You understand? And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about the personality of who is the Commissioner of Police, because as I say, Alistair Guevara may turn out to be an excellent in terms of his history, because his history is still young in the post. It turned out to be really an excellent Commissioner of Police in terms of solving the issues. But it's a process.
You've seen evidence of that?
Process. No, I said he may.
Oh,
I think he's doing some good work. I wouldn't just malign him and say everything is bad. No.
I think he's started off good work.
I think he's doing some good work, and I think he has the very confident persona that I would like in a Commissioner of Police. But we will have to see where it goes from here. Of course, has he made some errors? Yes, absolutely, in terms of how he's treated with certain incidents in terms of the public. But we'll have to wait and see. But it's the process that I'm talking about. But that process continues to exist.
Yeah.
But we didn't take any course, but all of us talking, yap.
No, well,
Sorry about that. Let me apologize to the
When we come back
callers.
after the news, we will pick the lines and take all the calls.
Yeah, we have lots of time to take calls, man. Our poll is up, people. Should the Prime Minister apologize to Barbados over her accusation about the kidnapping charge leveled against them? You would have heard the Prime Minister leveling certain accusations against Trinidad and Barbados, and you would also have heard the response from the Barbados Prime Minister, calling it a scurrilous lie and defamatory. Should she apologize? Yes or no? That's our question this morning. All right.
So we are going for the news, and when we come back, continue to vote through the news period. People remember yes or no first, and then put in your comments, and we tell you how you voted on the other side of the news. We should be back in a few minutes.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is news for Friday, the 27th of February on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar returned to Trinidad and Tobago overnight, leaving the remainder of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of Caribbean Community to Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Sean Sobers. As a result, she did not attend a key leaders retreat in St. Kitts and Nevis. Prime Minister Terence Drew said the private session allowed regional leaders to speak candidly about pressing issues. Persad-Bissessar described her engagements as productive, confirmed Sobers will continue representing Trinidad and Tobago, and said she will resume cabinet and parliamentary duties this week. Political analyst Professor Hamid Ghani says the upcoming March 7 meeting between Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Donald Trump in Florida is a mega development that can benefit Trinidad and Tobago's energy and security cooperation. Ghani told The Express the invitation reflects revived engagement, similar to past Caribbean-U.S. partnerships, and could open doors to favorable outcomes in strategic areas. He also praised the Prime Minister's stance at the recent CARICOM meeting and her support for strong regional defense policies, while expressing concern over left-wing influence in the region. Ghani said Persad-Bissessar's approach may help strengthen ties with the United States and enhance national and regional stability. Chief Personnel Officer Daryl Dindeal today met with the executive of the Contractors and General Workers Trade Union following the signing of revised terms and conditions for the 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019 periods. The revised agreements were signed on April 24, 2025, and affect daily rated workers at the San Fernando City Corporation. Commander Dindeal said discussions addressed matters arising under the agreement, as well as existing terms and conditions outside of wage negotiations. He noted that the meeting formed part of ongoing engagement between the Office of the Chief Personnel Officer and the union on issues impacting daily rated employees. Dindeal also thanked the union's leadership and executive for their participation, adding that welfare, benefits, and working conditions will continue to be addressed through continued dialogue. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council has restored a High Court ruling ordering Housing Minister Philip Edward Alexander to pay $750,000 in defamation damages to businessman Andrew Gabriel. In a decision delivered yesterday, the UK-based court overturned a Court of Appeal of Trinidad and Tobago ruling that had reduced the award to $10,000 and ordered the damages be reassessed in the High Court. The case stemmed from statements made by Alexander in February 2017 during a media interview and in Facebook posts, which alleged corruption and dishonesty. The Privy Council found the appeal court erred in disturbing trial judge Carol Gobin's findings that the remarks were defamatory and caused serious reputational harm. It ruled that nominal damages were manifestly inadequate, noting the seriousness of the allegations, the extent of publication, and the absence of any apology. In crime news, 2 men were arrested Tuesday night after an attempted street robbery in Barataria. Police say around 9:50 p.m., near St. George's Savannah, a man was confronted by 2 armed suspects. One grabbed his cell phone while the other held his arm. The victim managed to break free when a white SUV approached, which turned out to be police officers. One suspect was arrested on the spot, and the second was captured after a brief chase. Both are from Morvant. Earlier Tuesday, a 69-year-old Pettit Valley man was robbed of a $17,000 gold chain while eating at a double stand in Barataria. The suspect ran off and remains at large. Meanwhile, 4 men were arrested during a Northern Division exercise targeting housebreaking and larceny in Arima and surrounding areas. They remain in custody as investigations continue. Finally, in international news, officials from the United States and Iran say significant progress has been made in high-stakes nuclear talks held in Geneva. Badr al-Busaidi, who mediated the discussions, said negotiations will resume soon, with technical talks set for Vienna next week. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said there was agreement on some issues, but differences remain. The talks come amid rising tensions, with U.S. President Donald Trump warning of possible military action. The U.S. has increased its military presence in the Middle East, while Iran insists its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes and has rejected demands to fully halt uranium enrichment. Any deal would likely involve sanctions relief for Iran in exchange for limits on its nuclear activities, but major sticking points remain. And that is news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Ping, 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 nice.
best music and real talk.
This ain't no carnival.
I like it thing, I like it thing.
We ain't really like it, but we gonna accept it.
Yeah. We don't like it, but we gonna accept it, alright?
This ain't no carnival.
Right here in your backyard.
We really like it.
Your Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
This ain't no carnival.
Net Radio TT. Get familiar, alright? Everybody, good morning to you. Good Friday morning to you as we kick the doors wide open to your weekend here on the Net Radio. Thank you very much for being here. This is the breakfast show as we are coming inside the second hour. Wendell, Richard, yours truly, Sir Charles, and we are keeping your company. Let me also say much thanks and of course welcome to the folks on Gael Caribbean TV. Good day to you and thank you so much for being here this morning. We continue to vibe. We continue to have a really good time, huh? Yeah. So remember when we come off of the Gael feed that we are streaming all day, every day into the weekend. Your Era TT Radio. Your Era TT Radio on TuneIn. That way you got us on all of your Alexa and Google devices. Follow, subscribe, like our pages, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, Instagram, you name it, we're there. And don't forget to hit that support donate button also, right? So our poll today, should the PM apologize to Barbados over her accusation about the kidnapping charge leveled against them, alright? So remember, you're voting yes, you're voting no, and then you put in all of your comments. When we come back, we'll tell you how you voted, alright? And of course, on the other side of that too, we're going to open the lines to take your calls in between there. So don't go anywhere, stay with us this morning.
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026 Scandal in Cedrus. What can possibly be going on in Cedrus? Scandal in Cedrus premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedrus. You are ready for this
Scandal
one?
In Cedrus, boy, the place gone mad.
You know, I told you all, right? And I'm going to say it again. I know everybody don't agree with me, but that's all right. The Prime Minister's personality the Prime Minister's description of her relationship with Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister's description of her relationship with Barbados, her son being born there and so on. This is the Prime Minister speaking at the same CARICOM conference, off the cuff. She's speaking without reading. And then the Prime Minister goes to read a prepared script that insults the same Mia Mottley and the same people of Barbados. It makes no sense. There is a disconnect somewhere that is taking place that makes no sense. And somebody has to explain that. What is the Prime Minister is being given something to read, and the Prime Minister, who is speaking off the cuff as she is known to do sometimes, it's a complete disconnect. There is a disconnect. I'm sorry. And look at, you're getting a classical example in the same issue of Barbados, where she is speaking about Mia Mottley. They're seen together smiling and laughing. And then you read that about Barbados. You understand? And because if you know Mia Mottley, she was just waiting to have her say. When she dismissed the media people the other day and said, look, I done, because they were asking her questions while she was hustling to get to somewhere. You understand? Because she knows in her mind, I need to deal with this. And I don't need to.
She has a platform, so.
Yeah?
She knows she has a platform to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing about it also is that, can it be really considered insult, or is because like the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, is raising concerns about the shortfalls of CARICOM, and where CARICOM is falling short, and she is continuously making a case that CARICOM, for want of a better word, is it's not what it's supposed to be. It probably started out that way, but it's not that way. And it's not serving our purpose.
No, in that case, it was directed at Barbados. But the accusation was
she raised the actual what is a particular thing. But I think the thing that people are not looking at also is that she said that our courts. She didn't say it was me that was saying that, She said the courts of Trinidad and Tobago ruled that it was a kidnapping on of a judge. She mentioned that, She didn't say it was my words,
And she's not lying about that.
And she was doing that to raise the point of the shortcomings of CARICOM.
But was that the correct forum to raise that, Sir Charles? That's also being questioned. Was that the correct forum to raise an issue like that?
Maybe because of the fact that, remember, I'm here with the CARICOM head, so sometimes that is the best way to treat some situations when you're around some people, because, given the fact, if you are, you have certain things to raise, you can say it in some forums that don't have the weight, but when you really want to get the message across directly, you take it in certain directions, and probably that is what she did.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's an obvious disconnect between what is being read and what is being said. That's it's blatantly obvious now. Because how could you read that? How could you read? You read it now that people are interfering, other CARICOM nations are interfering in other people's election. When we are the ones who did it. We are the ones who did it. You reading that. Knowing and not connecting the fact that we did it, we are the ones who did it. I just found that very curious too, but maybe I'm just reading too much into this thing. We ready for the poll?
Yes, I am.
Polls today from people. All right, so our poll today: should the Prime Minister apologize to Barbados over her accusation about the kidnapping charge leveled against them? Because that's what happened. Michael Oliver said no. Finbar Collins, yes, with plenty yeses. Cheryl Henry, 100 yeses. Marcia Rock, yes. Gregory Boyer, yes. Eva Smith, yes. Estelita Sampson, yes. We just taken one. Robert Allen, yes. Coulted Finch, yes. Richard Phillip, absolutely yes. Trini Gets Fit, yes. Lester Cradwell, yes. CJ from New York, yes. Rena Jennings, yes. Wayne Joseph, yes. Apollonus, yes. Joyce Phillip, yes. Kim Govaya votes yes. Dave Gosain, yes. Kazim Mohammed, yes. Trinidad Margot, no. Bernadette Yates, yes. Beauty Culture, yes. Carla Hercules, yes, and yes, but we'll just take one. Diane Payne, sorry, yes. Richard Phillip, okay. David McCarthy, yes. Dean Allen, I'll come back to that comment you made because he said, Richard, well, let me read it one time. Richard, we can't be saying that the police are corrupting due process, then saying the police commissioner is doing a great job. This police commissioner was caught covering up a judicial killing. So true. I agree with that, Dean. Margaret Thomas says yes. Valerie Mendoza, yes.
But can we actually say the police commissioner was caught covering up in the sense when it is still under investigation?
So Charles, the police commissioner came to the public and said there was a shootout that ensued and the two people were conveyed to the hospital and one died. Didn't he say that?
But I think anyhow, let me leave that there because
leave that. You go lose the argument. Apollonus says, however, she's wrong. Okay, she never. All right. Cheryl Maraj votes yes. Magic, yes. Boy Bidesi, yes. But how come they get approval to leave Barbados? Yeah, that's what Mayor Motley was kind of hinting to. The Barbados police would have taken the how I should put it, taken the initiative from the Trinidad and Tobago police, who presented proper documents as far as Barbados government wouldn't get involved in something like that. Operational issues of the TTPS. It's the same thing here too, eh? So that would answer that. Joseph Clement says yes. Scorpion Pepper votes yes. Avion Abraham, yes. Annalie Johnson, yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Caribbean Girl, yes. Kenny in Harlem says yes. Anthony Miguel, yes. Debbie Mitchell says no. Trini Merle Kitchen, yes. Michael Robinson, yes. Suzanne Jessup, yes. And Wendell, I'll go deal with you. Lots of chat here. Will Cam says yes. Scorpion Pepper asking why trying to make sense out of nonsense. Because I just given a trying my Scorpion Pepper because some of these things ain't making sense. Some of the actions just ain't make sense. So that I trying to make sense out of the nonsense. Sorry if I trying to do that. Kurt Hope says yes. Alistair Hard, yes. Lyndon Williams, yes. So Charles, somebody lately have foolish excuses for politicians.
Thanks for your opinion. It's the one place I can express it freely.
Edwin Joseph says yes. And that's it.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh.
Those are the votes I have here, Sir Charles.
Yes. Okay. So let me get to the WhatsApp. So we have Pauline saying no. Joe Jr. saying no. Zena saying yes. Terry Ann saying no. Kurt saying yes. Sean saying no. Captain Ron saying yes. Peter Wilson saying no. Sean Ram saying no. Rockaway saying no. Frank in Ruka says yes. Judith in Tobago says yes. And Archbishop Ashton Clark says yes. He says yes also. And who did I miss? Right. Brenda is also saying yes. And I think that is where I stop right now. Okay. Any others?
Yeah, sorry. You know, another thing that I noticed is that no other CARICOM leader has addressed the concern of the current Prime Minister that whilst in opposition, she had written to the CARICOM Secretariat and got no response, and that it's time CARICOM gave a forum to the opposition leaders to be part of it. No one has addressed that issue. You notice? I don't know how that could be addressed. I don't know that.
Yeah, but the Secretariat themselves have not responded either.
Yeah, but I don't know that any heads of government conferences, whether it's the G7 or all the other things around the world, has a forum for the opposition to express themselves at those forums. I don't know if that happens anyway. But of course, the Prime Minister would have been peeved whilst in opposition at not getting a response. So hence, now that she is back in government, she is making a case out for opposition. I wonder if she would be minded to have Penelope Beckles-Robinson come to the CARICOM and address them too.
Well, if that happens and she gets that to come through, or they make that decision, of course, anybody else.
That can happen, Sir Charles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't expect it to happen. It may not happen, but if it does, it goes across the board for everybody. You know? I mean, I don't expect it to happen either, because I mean, this forum is for a particular thing. Then you have to create a different forum.
Yeah. Anyway, I have 3 more yeses from Larry Charles, James Kamau, and Andre. All right, you can add those to your yeses. Right.
All right. Okay. All right. So we had 61 people on the poll this morning. 50 of you said yes, she should apologize, and 11 persons saying no, she should not apologize. All right. So that is our poll today, coming out of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
all right, so those are our poll results.
You know, touching on that opposition thing, I don't think it's a matter of the opposition leaders across the Caribbean being necessarily present in the CARICOM heads of government meeting, but I think what the Prime Minister was really suggesting is that opposition members or leaders need respect too, and that if an opposition leader from whatever island writes to the CARICOM Secretariat, they should be treated with the respect of that position, and that position should be afforded a certain amount of respect. I think that was her larger point.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think she's wrong. Quite frankly, I don't think she's wrong, because opposition leaders have a part to play even in our constitution. So I don't think she is wrong in that opposition leaders should be afforded a certain amount of respect, in terms of if an opposition leader sends you a communique or some missive, you should have the courtesy as an institution to be able to respond, even if you're saying received and under consideration or whatever it is.
Well, most of these institutions, I didn't gather that point, Richard. But if that is the point she was trying to make, then I can't disagree with it either.
But she said that. Yeah. She said that, you know. She outlined it, that I sent it. She gave the dates and everything and how long.
I'm not doubting that. But I think most of these things have a automated response. In most instances, these things get an automated response. So I'd be very surprised
But she said she never received any response.
Yeah,
they have not said anything.
They have not said that otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, and how often
the Secretariat has not said otherwise.
And how?
But I'm just saying that it's a valid point on her part that opposition leaders, because she could have ignored it because she's now the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't have to raise the issue of because she raised it also that opposition leaders across the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Because as she said to all of them there, we all here were once members of the opposition.
And we'll go back as members of the opposition.
And we'll go back at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, so you should be something like that should be treated with the respect that you are still an important elected official in whatever Caribbean territory.
You know something? We're going to do a poll on that next week. That issue of opposition and opposition, how I should put it, presence, for want of a better word.
It's not a present. She never said they had to be present.
No, I'm using presence. I'm using presence in the terms of even if it's by way of a correspondence. You understand?
Well, I think it's more of a respect issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a presence issue as it is a respect issue.
Well, if an opposition leader raises a concern at CARICOM, then it has to be heard and responded to by way of respect. So it's a presence, because at some point in time it had to form part of minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's not a presence issue. I'm saying it's a respect issue.
Yeah.
That if opposition leader rights, you should answer.
And I wonder, the secretariat, how many opposition members across the Caribbean are complaining or bringing the complaints to you every day. I don't know if it is so overburdening that they can't respond. Or to treat it
None coming from Barbados.
You understand? Anyhow, people, let's take your calls 281-1315 or 299-5156 because Richard and Wendell already talked out the last hour. So all the time.
I plead guilty.
I don't. You know why? It's the most amount of intelligent discourse I've seen on the chat for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's me, punks up. Yeah. All right. So we go in again. Mr. Arima, good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Arima.
Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning.
Richard, not forgetting Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, fellow Arimian.
Yes, what happened? I want to know if the rats outside come into the station and gone with the cocaine now. The drugs. The rat outside come into the station and take it away and gone with it. I want the government and the police commissioner to hold all the police and them in the station accountable for that. That is what they should do. Or you can't say nobody come out outside and get inside the station and the thing disappear. We want to know where it's gone. Or they have to hold all accountable for that. It's only working there. We want to know, and something has to be done about it. They have to do something about it. It's too much drugs outside and too much things running the place. We want to know about that now. Thank you very much.
No problem, Arima. Thank you so much. One too much incident, boy. Oh my word, this Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Hello, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Diego Martin.
This morning I want to say blessings to our neighborhood plumber, Clyde, aka Platt Sibaran, for responding to my call yesterday morning. Oh my God!
You flood the house?
Yeah, boy, get up on the entire bathroom, all the mat sweat. Oh my God! He responded before 8 o'clock. Lord, listen, I don't know what we would have done without plumbers. Thanks to parents who allowed their children, their son, daughter, whoever.
So you don't have a lock-off valve?
You're not trained. What you said, Sir Charles?
You don't have a lock-off valve if water is leaking out in
Yes, well, eventually we had to do that. But, is that you wake up in the morning, my son going to say, Mommy, you go and look all the mat sweat. And So I called him. He responded before 8 o'clock. So I want to say blessings to him and to all the hard-working plumbers, the honest ones, because you have some of them, they are quacks and invalids. So hats off to the parents who allow the children to do a trade.
Nice.
My second point is I want to...
Mr. Martin, I never hear you thank parents for sending their children to be lawyers.
No, it's a dime a dozen of them. We need... Listen, Richard, you forgot during COVID. So plumbers and electricians, because my electrician said they got a pass. Remember when you had to stay home? They were allowed, they were considered essential services.
Yes.
Plumbers and electricians, Lord. I mean, an electrician, you might think they say a plumber. Oh God. So hats off to the parents who allow their son and daughter to do a trade.
Yes.
Because don't know what we will do without them. I want to say to the Prime Minister, why you just go and embarrass yourself? You do it here, you're going internationally and doing the same thing. Good Lord, I think she should have stayed home, you know. I think she should have do like the last time when she didn't go to the conference, Caricom conference, she should have stayed home. And she ended up running back the night. It's Sean Sobers and them who remain. My goodness, I mean, I like how Mia Motley handle it. They really say, class is class, right? This is, I mean, oh God, it was unbelievable hearing what the Prime Minister was saying out there. Good. Richard, I want to ask you something.
Proceed.
The passengers who lost their money in that cruise that never sailed with Vicky Boudram, could they individually file a civil suit because they lost well, from what they say, the DPP did not, I don't know, something wrong. The DPP needs to be investigated. That's DPP's office. They did not, I think, 3 times they didn't come to court and present, so the magistrate had to throw the case out. This is ridiculous. People lost $6,000, $10,000. So I have a friend who lives abroad who was her sister-in-law is a victim. And she's asking, she said, can they file a civil suit against this situation? Because she won, the case was dismissed, 109 cases.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be statute barred by now.
Yeah. But it would be statute barred by now. It would be statute barred by now because once it crosses 4 years. But with that being said, there was a recent decision with Justice Frank C. Prasad that I can't remember what kind of matter was it, but it was a matter that became statute barred that I know legal aid was involved with. The legal aid was for the person involved, and it went before Justice C. Prasad, and he set aside the fact that it was statute barred in light of the circumstances. He felt that the circumstances warranted that the matter should go to court. So, you know,
things do happen.
But once it crosses 4 years, 4 years is always kind of the magic number you need to remember in terms of contractual issues.
Miss Sampson, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I think that matter had something to do with COVID. Anyhow, concerning the opposition, I find they should have a separate forum where any CARICOM, not together. And Madam probably want that to happen because she probably figure out she will be on the other side. You know, I'd like to wash the dirty linens all over the place. Another matter, I would like to know all the drugs that they're finding all over the place. Where it's going, who have it, what they're doing with it, or is it just toting it out and replacing it with bricks and wood and fixing themselves. Where is all these drugs going? You all have a good day.
Ask the police.
But how do you? Let's assume, because we don't know. But let's assume it's a police officer. Okay, Wendell. Let's assume. We don't know if it is. But let's assume it's a police officer.
All right, Richard, I'll go along with you this morning. Let's assume it's a police officer.
Yeah, let's assume it is. Are we walking the station with a set of wood in his backpack and nobody even realize it? Where you going with all that wood? You know, Trinidadians fast. You know we are fast people, right? and we like to comment on what we see immediately. But where you going with all that wood, boy? Like you need some extra water? Nobody has seen that. Nobody has. Am I lying? We fast and we like to make other people's business, you know.
And when he walking back out, go in now. You going
where the wood go on?
But yes, you know, so the man went with the wood during regular working hours. Suppose the man went after midnight when all the police sleeping in the police station.
No, man, police don't sleep in police stations.
Where you
in Chagodas? Charles, who's sleeping in the Chagodas police station? Chagodas is a bacchanal place. It's always a bacchanal going on in Chagodas. Wrong police station. Wrong. If it's Maruga, I could say, all right, they're sleeping in Maruga. I could take it. Yes. But Chagodas?
Chilling out tonight. We can take it easy and don't sleep.
But Chagodas police station? This get sleep?
Anyhow, good morning to you, Mr. Patrick.
Hey, morning, Sir Charles. Morning, Wendell. Morning, Richard.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morning.
Trinidad and Tobago. You could remember the jog susu money in Africa?
Yes.
It disappeared, right?
Some part of it, I think, this disappeared. I can't remember how much.
Right. And Gary Griffith was the commissioner of police. And he said, listen, it has some big people working in his area. You understand? So this thing don't happen by one man. This thing does happen organized.
Organized crime.
They organized crime in this station. No one man has moved that 3 to 4 men, or even this whole shift. The whole shift come together and say, you get something here, and move it up. Then another one man.
You watching too much movies.
But that is something like what Richard was proposing to get the police to perform and to pay them.
Hey, no one man moving with all that with his head.
Mr. Patrick, are you saying that 99.9% of the police corrupt? Is that what you saying?
You said that this morning, brother. Me and jacket. I don't want to come like military.
Next time people start kicking down your door over the morning because I went there.
The man is afraid to call. I don't want to come like he. So leave me out of that. But,
oh God.
How should they now call Miss Diego Martin? You see, that issue when she talk about it, you watch people like those get up in the morning and the whole house blow up.
Yeah.
Listen to that. You see that thing called water pump? You see water pump in the night? I advise people to switch off that. I just do my little plumbing and little trade work and things. Switch off water pump in the night. Sometimes you're sleeping and your PVC get porous, the glue, and the pressure of the pump push out the pipe.
Yeah, it can do that.
That happens.
For real.
Mr. Patrick, older man like you has got up in the night at all hours to go and pee, so that bowl getting plenty pee and no water to flush.
I find you
Mr. Patrick, all right, put them in the place. Yeah.
Mr. Patrick, all you're going to end up getting is water, 40 minutes of water in your house, because every hour you're getting up.
Old man getting up to pee.
Mr. Patrick, don't worry. It's a road we all have to walk. All right, so stop worrying.
I go beat the bear up.
Thanks very much, Mr. Patrick. Yeah. But that whole situation with that water, I mean, I have experienced that, but not because of any pump putting off any thing. Because Wassa just take the water every time it rains here. We don't have water. So sometimes if somebody, I remember a night, somebody may have forgotten to turn off one of the pipes, checking to see if it had water now. And it came back sometime during the night and flooded out the water.
People just leave pipes on sometimes.
Yeah.
So since then, I have a kind of routine when the night time comes. The days that I know we're not going to have water, I just have to walk home and check the pipes before I go to my bed. All day long.
As we
I don't know if you all know that there are things called water sensors that you can place in strategic areas, and if there was to be a flood and the sensor detects the water, it sends alerts to your phone that something is wrong.
Richard,
you all know that technology, yes? All the old people who are listening to the show, or I shouldn't say old people, to all the senior citizens and very senior like Zena, there are such things called water sensors, which are actually for that purpose, to alert you.
That's if your house is flood prone too, because there are some people, water will run out depending on where it is, you know.
Yeah, some people have drainage.
But that could be for laundries and bathrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if there's a leak, it alerts you that there's a problem in this area.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Now I
We're talking leak and pain. I have complained to the Arima Borough Corporation that there are homes building in my area where the contractors are not providing the workers with a basic outhouse toilet facility, and they are using all the lampposts in the area. I send them pictures, and up to now, nothing has been done about it. How you gonna have workers on a job site for a whole day, and you don't have a little porta potty for them? How you can do that?
Well, Wendell, you have a good template now. So here one, the next town hall meeting, carry your pictures and talk about it.
No, I sent it directly to the Arima Borough, and they said they were going to send a public.
Them like the secretariat, they don't respond.
Oh, God.
You understand? They don't respond. So go to the meeting and bring out your pictures.
Man.
Yeah, you have to embarrass them into action. Caller, good morning to you. Virginia.
It's Mr. Patrick Sweet here, spray. Hey, more folk Virginia front and center. Hey, you know, the architects and the founding leaders in our islands of the Caribbean, the foresight that they had with initially Carifta and then CARICOM, and we keep it going as far back as maybe the Federation too, never had the intentions to have this Caribbean bloc of countries go in the direction where it is going now. And let me explain what I mean. The Prime Minister was talking on both sides of her mouth when she's talking about sending their own people to other islands elections. I mean, both the PNM and the UNC was doing that. So, as I say, so that's speaking of both sides of your mouth. And the evidence is there. So I don't need to go too much through that.
Where you ever see a PNM person openly campaigning in an election outside of the Trinidad and Tobago? Where have you ever seen that? Show me, provide me with the evidence.
Well, I am relaying what the other side, her side, has to say about the PNM, and I will get back to you with the details on that. I will get back to you, okay? I can assure you that.
All right.
But then I seem to, from the outside looking in, it seems as though, and I'm speaking more on the UNC side, that the alliances that they are forming, it almost based upon ethnic identities. You know, and again, from the outside looking in, right? I'm not saying Suriname, Guyana, and stuff like that, when you're talking about forming something else. You know, so, but as I said, you want me to give you the information, and again, I don't, but this is what I am hearing out of our own camp, right? Our own supporters, which I wouldn't even name the you have close ties, boy. You all know who they are. What's that?
You have close ties on both sides. You have ties in John. You have ties in Sugar.
Well, here's all I want to say to you. Here's all I'm going to say. Right? You ask a question, I'll answer you. You see that speech? That definitely was not written by somebody based in TNT. Definitely.
We don't.
Was not written.
Where you bringing all these things to the table?
How it's structured? Okay. I say nah. I don't think nobody's using that. So, and again, and I'm speaking based upon me being on the other side of the bridge to the Beltway, as we call neighboring Washington to me. Okay, and I'm speaking to both my. I'm speaking about the elements that you have from both the PNM and UNC camps. My buddies out here in DC and in Virginia and surrounding areas, right? Guys who are in both the blue side and the red side, at home Democrat Republican sides. And definitely that speech was not done by somebody in TNT. Maybe they tweaked it or whatever, but
we have real good speech writers here, boy. I'm there.
Okay,
we have good speech writers here.
What's that?
We have real good speech writers here, you know.
I know, yeah, especially that letter that was written after the PNM defeat. That definitely was written by a trainee and definitely somebody who knows what is going on within the PNM. And up to now, I know there are people have been asking, I even asked on this medium too, where can I find that letter? Because they put it in the newspapers and so on. And people say, well, I don't know, that is a PNM group or something like that. So,
all right, okay,
that's,
cool. I say, all right, okay, cool. No problem. Anything else, Virginia?
Yeah, that's how it is. So, anyway, guys, you'll have a great day.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Right. Okay, no problem. Thanks very much. Lincoln, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
First of all, Richard, I want to thank you for asking that question because that last caller, clearly clueless, right? I have seen him stalk one of UNC supporters, go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, go to other countries and try and influence their election. I have only seen UNC people go to other Caribbean countries and try and manipulate their election, make videos and try and manipulate their election. I've never seen any PNM supporter make a video about another country's election. So that was a very good question that you asked there, right? There are documented videos where Stark specifically, Master Brave Boy specifically, have gone and made videos to influence other people's elections, right? But I didn't call for that. I called to deal with the police. You know, anytime I have police issues, they will hear from me, right? And this morning, I'm surprised that we're not here. We hear from the commissioner with radar. The next day, we hear from the commissioner with shooting. This morning, why aren't we hearing from the commissioner of police that I don't know what you would call them in the police service, the storeman, the evidence lock-up person, somebody needs to be suspended, somebody needs to be charged, and this is why we cannot trust the police. Because if you have drugs, let's say 8 inches by 8 inches, a police has to go home, cut some pieces of wood 8 inches by 8 inches, and he has to know the size of the drugs, the packaging that is in. Cut pieces of wood 8 inches by 8 inches, put layers of them to get them to the thickness of the drugs that was in the packaging. Come back with those packaging, allowed into the evidence room, allowed time to go and repackage these drugs, take these drugs. So we are not talking one corrupt police. We are talking about a gang. For those who want to call it what it is, we are talking about a gang of criminal elements in the police service, including the store person. Why aren't we hearing about arrest and investigation? You know what I like to say about wait until the investigation finish?
Yeah, then take 10
Why
years
aren't we
later.
having that conversation about investigation, reference this, and this is not the first, the second, the third, the fourth time that evidence has been gone missing from the custody of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Let me not talk about when they went in St. James and St. Joseph Police Station several years ago, and guns were stashed in the ceiling of the police station. Nobody ever gets suspended. We don't even know if it had a commission of inquiry. We don't know what is happening with this police service. And Richard, Wendell, you're absolutely correct. This police service is a dangerous institution. if left unchecked.
My words, exact words, Lincoln, is that the TTPS is hopeless. Those are my exact words. They are hopeless.
I have a coworker. I had a coworker. We're both retired now, and he does always say one thing: they need to close down the police service, pay them off, and start over.
Very good suggestion.
Right? We need to start over this institution, properly train these people properly, vet the new people, train them properly, and you see all these old police we have there, close them down and pay them off, send them home.
Yeah.
20 years ago, when I went on radio with a man called Gladiator, Gladiator was saying the same thing. 20 years ago, Gladiator said the same thing, Close down the police service and start them over.
That police service needs a serious sanitizing long time. Yeah, we had to find a way. Maybe in our budget, we have to tell the finance minister here, go down, see if we can get a 5 billion or how much it is, and just to pay up the police.
When all you encounter a good police officer, a pleasant police officer, a helpful police officer, always show appreciation for that person, because that person operating under very trying circumstances in that TTPS. Anytime you meet a pleasant police officer, a good one, a helpful one, say thank you and show them appreciation. It's very rare. Very, very rare. And they are contaminating those traffic wardens too. Those traffic wardens operating worse than police officer now.
Oh my word. Caller, good morning. Suzanne.
Richard and Wendell, it's Friday.
It is, Susie.
Yes. So I sure what this pass through back door already in a police station. The same back door they would pass through, the same way they would pass through back door. This thing, I mean, it just getting worse and worse every day. It's just like when the commissioner said that all his men cannot go in the bush because of the mosquitoes, and they find a whole set of drugs and they can't hold nobody for it. And it's not no small fries. It's the big fish on them, because all our drugs there in the bush there all the time. Nobody. That's one person you could hold. You could have let the army come with all you together and scope out the scene. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's real racket running, real racket. And to our goodly Prime Minister, who always like to be bumping she gone because she knows she's gonna be the president. So she went there just to let them know here what's going on. Exactly, because she's Trump puppet. And let them know. And then they're talking about Cuba. I wouldn't be surprised today tomorrow, God forbid, the doctors and nurses that we have here who are from Cuba, she might want to post them back.
Well, they are very little right now.
They are very good. They are very good doctors and nurses from Cuba, and we have students from Trinidad who are studying across there also. You understand?
Yeah. Thanks,
she gets a puppet for Trump, for me.
I want to just correct.
Yes. If Trump is near off the cliff, he'll go straight off the cliff. As I understand, people can go to Trinidad, a country you could still voice and air out your views. You understand? But for people, I just want to say one more thing. People don't forget the bacchanal don't feature us.
Scandal.
It's one. Yeah. Don't forget box people later action.
Yeah, karaoke give
all
away.
those people who are the karaoke winners, congratulations to you all again. And last but not least, and he's the sweetest man on the internet radio. Sir Charles, Sappy Sunday. People try and send your song early now. You can't be sending song late Sunday and the man high little Sunday lunch before the program starts. We're not encouraging that. But at least by Saturday, people always make sure and get your tunes, please. So Sir Charles can write things lined up nice. And there's all kind of 40 songs. Sir Charles, I don't know how you're making out, because I feel they go cross over 60. And every song, you have to cut it in half. Like then DJ just cut and play. Cut and play.
We chop it up just now.
Sappy Sunday getting bigger and better and fabulous. So you three gentlemen, to you all, number one program, internet. They can't touch you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks much, Suzanne.
Have a blessed one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I just want to correct Scorpion Pepper here before we run for the news. Scorpion Pepper, Virginia, and Captain Ron are two completely different people. Don't mix up Captain Ron with Virginia. Captain Ron is a completely different person to Virginia. Right? So that's just a correction on your comment earlier on. They're completely different people. Trust me. Right?
All right. Okay. It's a Friday, baby. So we go into the news and then we come back and take you, of course, inside of the final session of the breakfast show.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is news for Friday, the 27th of February on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar returned to Trinidad and Tobago overnight, leaving the remainder of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of Caribbean Community to Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Sean Sobers. As a result, she did not attend a key leaders retreat in St. Kitts and Nevis. Prime Minister Terence Drew said the private session allowed regional leaders to speak candidly about pressing issues. Persad Bissessar described her engagements as productive, confirmed Sobers will continue representing Trinidad and Tobago, and said she will resume cabinet and parliamentary duties this week. Political analyst Professor Hamid Ghani says the upcoming March 7 meeting between Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar and Donald Trump in Florida is a mega development that can benefit Trinidad and Tobago's energy and security cooperation. Ghani told The Express the invitation reflects revived engagement, similar to past Caribbean-U.S. partnerships, and could open doors to favorable outcomes in strategic areas. He also praised the Prime Minister's stance at the recent CARICOM meeting and her support for strong regional defense policies, while expressing concern over left-wing influence in the region. Ghani said Persad Bissessar's approach may help strengthen ties with the United States and enhance national and regional stability. Chief Personnel Officer Daryl Dindeal today met with the executive of the Contractors and General Workers Trade Union following the signing of revised terms and conditions for the 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019 periods. The revised agreements were signed on April 24, 2025, and affect daily rated workers at the San Fernando City Corporation. Commander Dindeal said discussions addressed matters arising under the agreement, as well as existing terms and conditions outside of wage negotiations. He noted that the meeting formed part of ongoing engagement between the Office of the Chief Personnel Officer and the union on issues impacting daily rated employees. Dindeal also thanked the union's leadership and executive for their participation, adding that welfare, benefits, and working conditions will continue to be addressed through continued dialogue. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council has restored a High Court ruling ordering Housing Minister Philip Edward Alexander to pay $750,000 in defamation damages to businessman Andrew Gabriel. In a decision delivered yesterday, the UK-based court overturned a Court of Appeal of Trinidad and Tobago ruling that had reduced the award to $10,000 and ordered the damages be reassessed in the High Court. The case stemmed from statements made by Alexander in February 2017 during a media interview and in Facebook posts, which alleged corruption and dishonesty. The Privy Council found the appeal court erred in disturbing trial judge Carol Gobin's findings that the remarks were defamatory and caused serious reputational harm. It ruled that nominal damages were manifestly inadequate, noting the seriousness of the allegations, the extent of publication, and the absence of any apology. In crime news, 2 men were arrested Tuesday night after an attempted street robbery in Barataria. Police say around 9:50 p.m., near St. George's Savannah, a man was confronted by 2 armed suspects. One grabbed his cell phone while the other held his arm. The victim managed to break free when a white SUV approached, which turned out to be police officers. One suspect was arrested on the spot, and the second was captured after a brief chase. Both are from Morvant. Earlier Tuesday, a 69-year-old Pettit Valley man was robbed of a $17,000 gold chain while eating at a double stand in Barataria. The suspect ran off and remains at large. Meanwhile, 4 men were arrested during a Northern Division exercise targeting housebreaking and larceny in Arima and surrounding areas. They remain in custody as investigations continue. Finally, In international news, officials from the United States and Iran say significant progress has been made in high-stakes nuclear talks held in Geneva. Badr al-Busaidi, who mediated the discussions, said negotiations will resume soon, with technical talks set for Vienna next week. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said there was agreement on some issues, but differences remain. The talks come amid rising tensions, with U.S. President Donald Trump warning of possible military action. The U.S. has increased its military presence in the Middle East, while Iran insists its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes and has rejected demands to fully halt uranium enrichment. Any deal would likely involve sanctions relief for Iran in exchange for limits on its nuclear activities, but major sticking points remain. And that is news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026 Scandal in Cedrus. What can possibly be going on in Cedrus? Scandal in Cedrus premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedrus. You ain't ready for this
Scandal
one.
in Cedrus, boy, the place gone mad.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newera@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
It's a Friday, baby! Doesn't know! Yes, I'm on my way. DJ Cassidy on the remix, baby! Needed a friend, hey. And the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. South Africa to the world! Yes, I'm shake what your mama gave ya. Hey. Your weekend starts right here, baby.
You know,
your weekend starts right here, baby.
I want to tell West Indies cricket, Darren Sammy in particular,
because he's listening right now. Go ahead.
I can't wait for this World Cup to finish for them to remove you as coach of West Indies. I can't wait because I don't know what else will convince the board to keep you as coach of the West Indies team. We beat Italy, Nepal, and Scotland and celebrating like if we all of a sudden back on top of the world of cricket. You understand? And when we meet the real opposition, right? We can't beat them. Because you know what? We change a winning team and put in a man who I could beat him with my eyes closed, Ruston Chase. I could play and beat Ruston Chase with my eyes closed. You drop Akil Hossain from Trinidad and Tobago to play Ruston Chase. You understand? And he get licks like a spoiled child yesterday, and we lose the match. Right? What are you gonna do? Put back in Akil now against India, a game to put him under that pressure so that we have to win? Darren Sammy, just get away from me, yes? And get away from West Indies cricket. Get away.
Well, if you're better than Chase and you could beat him with your eyes closed, why are you not on the team?
I should have been on the team, Richard, but again...
That's what I tried to work out. I am very confused.
That's dangerous.
Just like politics, just like radio, I could go, and just like my relationships, I could go for a long, long time, you know. And then eventually I just say, I ain't taking this no more. No? I'm done. That is sure, man. And that's how I play cricket too. You couldn't get, you see like how Sir Charles has praised me for being early every time on radio, and how I had that reputation in Power 102 also too. I used to be the first man on that cricket field too, back in the day. So then me and the coach alone waiting there for the other players to come. That's how dedicated I am, and that's how I am with time. You see, time, I don't make joke with time. But
so you're trying to say I don't be early?
Let me hear you, because you always say that.
We are trying to say I don't be early.
Charles, open the lines.
I know what I'm saying. You must know what matters so far. You must that, right?
No, he's not to shut you up, you know. He's not to shut you up.
No, but before we go back to the lines, because like something, I'm happy that Richard is here, because Richard might be able to help me out with this situation. Going on to this whole CARICOM situation and the speech of the Prime Minister and everything, right? Highlighting what she saw was the CARICOM not living up to what the expectations are probably of her or her government at this point in time. But going back to that Brent Thomas situation, where the Attorney General in Barbados had said that the police in Barbados had fallen short of the law. You know, they're couching the language very nicely. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Ms. Motley has now said that the Prime Minister's statements can be considered as defamatory. And the Prime Minister now would have quoted and said, and she made sure she said that a judge in Trinidad and Tobago said that it was nothing short of a kidnapping, right? Our judge would have, had all the information, looked at it and stuff. Is it that defamatory statement that Ms. Motley is now saying? Is it that she's saying that the courts of Trinidad and Tobago it's making defamatory judgments also? Can it be looked at that way? Because this is our courts. Is it that she's now throwing aspersions or looking at our courts in that kind of way by what her response?
Well, I think, well, to be fair to our court, I think the judgment really looked at the responsibility of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and whatever other arms of the Trinidad and Tobago government, if involved, what it amounted to. Mm-hmm. So the judge was casting that judgment really in terms of what would have happened from our side, mm-hmm. saying that it was a kidnapping because you went on another jurisdiction and took the person and brought him back here. And so I don't think it was really, if I remember correctly, I'm subject to correction, of course, that the judge was really commenting on Barbados' role in it. And I think what Mia Motley is saying is that there are certain protocols that exist between CARICOM countries, and Barbados followed that protocol. Right. In terms of if the TTPS comes and say we need X, Y, Z, and we're taking it, they kind of kowtow to that. Now, it gets a little bit more complex because the Barbados AG, as you rightly said, Sir Charles, said that they fell a little short of the law. And I remember when that incident happened, we discussed it in our previous format. We discussed it and said, well, wait, there were many things wrong with that picture because there is an extradition process. So if somebody's in another jurisdiction, you can't just go and grab them and bring them back. there has to be a process. And was there some sort of process that was some sort of mutual arrangement legally between Barbados and Trinidad to allow that to happen? And all of that we discussed at the time. And we felt it was illegal at the time when we discussed it.
And let me add to that, Richard. We also discussed the fact that police services across some of these Caribbean, they have relationships. People know people. You understand? So all you have to know is the senior person there and say, hey, so-and-so, we have so-and-so and so-and-so, we come in and we need your assistance. You think that person won't help? That person will help once you present a certain document. And that is what happened. We suspect, because all of that we discussed back then too, You understand that there may have been familial relationships. The police service, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but worldwide, is a cult, you know.
But no, what I'm trying to get at really and truly with the statement is that now, is it that when the Prime Minister made the statement in CARICOM, when she said that our courts showed nothing short of kidnapping, how then is it that she said and Barbados facilitated it? Did she say that so that Barbados now feels that here going on in the response? If our courts, by their response, also is now looking down on our courts as not as what they said, if they're dragging us into something that we really had no control over, or if they're looking down at our courts in a negative way.
You can replay what Prime Minister Motley said, you know, because she said that an investigation will take place, you know, and it's in fact taking place still, you know, to determine what exactly happened in that case. But don't describe Barbados. What she is saying is that you can't describe Barbados and its politicians as being part of a kidnapping. You can't make that description.
And that's what I'm trying to find out, if that was actually said that Barbados facilitated this kidnapping, or if she was just...
But we don't have to guess. We can play the video and see.
You can play both videos if you want.
Without a guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's recorded.
Yeah. And you notice Trinidad and Tobago has not responded as yet to what the Barbados Prime Minister has said, that it's a scurrilous lie and defamatory. We have not responded to that, and I don't think we will.
Wendell, if the Prime Minister is now big bad UNC, she is going to respond.
Well, if the person right anyway.
As a kidnapping is a most unfortunate term, because arrest warrants were presented by the Trinidad police to the Barbados police. As to what happened, we don't know, because we don't get involved in operational matters. So as it transpired, we knew nothing about it. It is only when this matter became a public issue that we then had to launch an investigation into what transpired. And it was clear that the Trinidad and Tobago police, as has been the practice for decades in this region, would have supplied an arrest warrant which the Barbados police would have acted upon. We understood at the time, and our Attorney General said at the time, that the formal process of extradition, which we do extra-regionally with other countries, has not and was not practiced in the region among ourselves by any country in the region. And therefore, to that extent, we acknowledge that we need to be able to change how we operate. That is why the CARICOM arrest warrant is being pursued. That is why legislation has to be passed in every CARICOM country to be able to facilitate that CARICOM arrest warrant. But to describe it as kidnapping, or to suggest that any member of cabinet or any member of the permanent secretary class or government of Barbados is involved in kidnapping is a scurrilous lie and defamatory in the extreme. We all know what transpired, and it is regrettable that it happened. We also have, for example, as I said, the ministerial statements to Parliament of both our former Attorney General in 2023 and the former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago.
You know what's interesting about what is interesting about that statement is that she is actually indicating, and that was blurry for us at the time that it happened, was whether in fact there was some sort of arrangement that allowed an arrest warrant from Trinidad and Tobago to be effective in Barbados with no court oversight as per an extradition.
Yes, because
in other words, were you
common practice?
Yes, were you treating? Well, she specifically identified the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service was in the habit of. She didn't say was in the habit of, but she kind of said like we were the most suggesting that we used to do it a lot. But that was what always puzzled me. Why wasn't there some sort of extradition arrangement? And is it, which is what she is suggesting, that you need to go to some sort of CARICOM warrant, which gives you the power to go to any CARICOM state and arrest somebody and take them back to their own land. If you're treating the CARICOM space like one country, in other words. Yeah. Because if you commit a crime in Siparia and you head to a hotspot like El Dorado, and sorry, I just was that was for Sir Charles.
Hello, right? They have all kind of things circulating wanted people in Korea now. So I'm not offended with question. I face reality.
And you go to El Dorado, you can get arrested wherever in Trinidad. You don't need no extradition, if you understand what I'm saying. So if you're treating it like that via some legislation, which is what I think she's suggesting, that each country has to pass, that gives the respective power to a CARICOM warrant, that means that you don't have to go through an extradition process. This is what I think Mayor Motley is suggesting.
Yeah.
No, but my thing within the and she said it again there, listening back to it. She said that to describe it as a kidnapping, it's disingenuous or whatever is the case.
It's a scurrilous lie and defamatory.
A spurious lie. So is it that Mayor Motley is saying that our judge who did make that statement, is she saying that to our judge also? Is she saying that our courts is
Charles, stop being disingenuous. Behave yourself.
No, I'm not being that way. Wendell, where did the statement come from?
So Charles, I kind of leaning with Wendell in this one. I kind of leaning towards Wendell.
No problem.
Don't bring any judge in this. She was responding to what the Prime Minister
saying.
All
right, Wendell, go ahead. You talk.
No,
because
I'm just saying,
you making a point when they don't want to hear nobody else but himself.
No,
but
I'm just
it's getting testy. It's getting testy in here.
I know, we go battle it out today. And we go take a drink later in Rumbox. But I'm just saying, don't bring in any. Mayor Motley was clear. She was responding to what the Prime Minister raised in CARICOM. Right?
And the Prime Minister is saying that the Prime Minister was very clear in saying that a judge in Trinidad or a courts in Trinidad and Tobago ruled it a kidnapping. She didn't. So is it that when you make that statement, you drag everybody inside of it? It's not Kamla Prasad Bissessa's statement. It is our judge who made that statement.
So you're saying our Prime Minister is who drag everybody in it?
I am saying that if Miss Motley is saying that, or even if you want to say that, because Miss Bissessa put it outside there, that our courts saw it as a kidnapping and ruled in that kind of way. It is on the books. It is not a lie. So now that if Miss Motley is saying that to rule it as a kidnapping is disingenuous or whatever is the case, is that coming all the way down to our where's the word?
Scurrilous lie.
Scurrilous lie. Right. So if Miss Motley is saying that to rule it, call it, term it a kidnapping, is that she's saying that our judge saw it wrong also? That's what I'm asking.
Here what you need to do for the listening public, right? To get the part of the speech where the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, made that comment and played that, and then play Mayor Motley. You could do that Monday. That's your homework for the weekend. Just get that part of the...
I don't know for this weekend already. Anyway, I will try and see.
Yeah, just get that part.
I will try and match the two parts and we'll deal with those particular
That is what we
right?
will do next week. Yeah.
On Monday or whenever.
Yeah.
Let's
not guess who said what. We know exactly what Mayor Motley said because we have it fresh.
I'm just saying for interpretation. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we can go back to the lines.
Yes. Let's take a couple calls.
Because
don't forget, today is the prize giving of karaoke down at Rumbox this afternoon from 4 p.m. All right.
Yeah.
Fran Romani Brenda from Penal, and of course our winner Robert Allen. All right, they'll be collecting their prizes later today. Their prizes include drinks, so you never know if they go want to drink it one time, and they might want to share it with everybody. You never know, or they come with transport and take it away. Right? I just gave them some ideas, right?
Yeah. But before we even go to that, let us say much thanks to all the people who really contributed to the karaoke, besides the persons who took part in it. So the persons at Sunshine Cereal, thank you so much. To Damien and Amanda, who first came in there, thank you so much. To Rumbox, Bow Wow Pet Supplies, CJ out there in New York, Far Rockaway, Michael in Long Island, Captain Run, the Movie Town team, also the Pizza Boys and Church's Chicken, Flirts by VS Limited, and then Abatik Mall, J&J Jammer, Scorpion Pepper, and Cathy and Charles. Did I miss out anybody, Wendell?
No. I was waiting. You called everybody as far as I'm aware.
All right. So thank you so much for making our karaoke a great success. I think our winners will be very happy with their prizes.
Yes, Melchizedek, it's cases of drinks. It ain't no 6-pack, it's a case of this and a case of that. They win.
So come with your transport, or if not, come prepared to share it and drink it.
Come with a cooler with ice.
I hope Stephen Harper have all of that organized, that you are the one say, oh God, let me go and check and see if we have that.
You want to say that again, Richard, loudly?
I hope that Stephen Harper is organized, that the people come and say, where's my case of beer? He say, God, let me go and see if I have that, yes? Don't be no parlor, you know. Be very efficient.
Watch me now. It's a big establishment, you know.
I know.
Tell the man Rumbox is a big establishment, no man.
Yeah.
Like you all know for short on drinks.
You'll be scrambling last minute like usual.
You know, there was an establishment that we used to we play in all the time, Wendell, and almost every time I play at that establishment, the owner had to be running out to buy beer halfway through the night.
Oh God, boy! Yeah, I remember.
All 2 o'clock, you see him escaping out to go and come back, but 2 cases of beer. Looking at it.
Oh, they used to real drink such a problem.
I don't know, like they used to always drink on the man, but every time I found it strange that every time I play. Every time I
get up with that, they can't drink 100 beers. Bam!
Every time I went. You talking about that? I went a very popular place already in Trin City Plaza. There, the one where across the road from the mall now. A very popular place. I went to take a drink with a partner at time, and they were running out to buy chaser from right next door. And we were saying, but why? Because I ordered a Long Island iced tea, and the person I was with noticed, but where the color in that thing, the Coke missing. And then we realized the Coca-Cola wasn't put in it because they didn't have any.
Oh, imagine that.
We saw the girl leave the establishment and go outside and come back in with Coca-Cola.
Wow. Imagine that. Anyhow, we're taking your calls. Caller, good morning to you.
Morning, gentlemen. Happy Friday.
Morning, Captain Rod.
Yes, so Charles, I'm agreeing with Richard and Wendell, and I want to show you a fact, not an opinion, because you love your opinions. You're talking about that because Miss Motley said what she said. That means she's calling even the judge of Trinidad and Tobago a liar. Now let me show you something. You just played the news twice on top of the hours, and it had a case where I think it's somebody called Alexander, where the judges in England said the judge comment was incorrect, was improper. If I misunderstand, somebody can correct me. But what they're saying, the judge in Trinidad was wrong. So judges make mistakes as well.
True.
So
no, the judgment actually when he talks about the Court of Appeal.
correct. So what they're saying, the judge in Trinidad is wrong with another case on the news. That's what I'm talking about. I'm using as a reference because he's saying that because the Prime Minister of Barbados said that it's a blatant lie that she's saying to the judges. Yes, so it could be. Yeah. It's not impossible because judges are human beings and they make mistakes. And they as Richard can correct me, they go based on the interpretation of the law. They make their judgments. I'm not a lawyer, but Richard can correct any mistakes I make. But also this, something totally different. I heard, I don't know if you guys mentioned it. I know it was read in the news sometime in the week. But there was a case, a situation happened in Manzanilla, and Mr. Allen brought in a show. And I think something needs to be drastically investigated with that, where somebody's killing some person for land, a dispute, and it's alleged that the person has a family-related police officer. They went and they shot the guy in the night. Now, when Mr. Allen and the lady went back to the shed where the guy was camping, he got permission from the landowner. Everything was burnt. So, and then they delivered the body to somewhere in Sandy Grande, to some place, and no police sign saying that they brought it in or what happened. It's like a total cover-up. Something, and it's funny, you're talking about the police. The police have some bad individuals that need to be taken out of the police department, and to vet it. Every year, my recommendation is they should give lie detector tests. Simple as that.
No, a lie detector test is part of your access into the TDPS. So it is utilized as a tool in recruitment. But you are right in terms that there have been so many cases over the years that have happened that have been puzzling to Trinidadians and Tobagonians. And I suppose as island people, and I'm saying this broadly, as island people, maybe we're a little bit too carefree with when we hear things and we don't question it more. And I'll give you an example. I remember a former Attorney General, and listen to what I'm saying, a former Attorney General of this country was murdered. And to this day, we don't know why.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all have a good day.
Thanks very much, Captain Ron, and thanks for supporting the karaoke. Yeah, great. I of course, judges and everybody could be wrong, but we have reached to the point of the Privy Council. Maybe somebody should take it there.
The Court of Appeal, I don't know if you all know, you notice they were not naming the Court of Appeal judges who got remonstrated with the Privy Council. But the Court of Appeal judges, I have the names. Who were the Court of Appeal judges? And one of them is extremely senior today. Extremely.
Court of Appeal. Well, I mean, Court of Appeal judges, like other judges, can make mistakes. So I mean,
and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, but and mistake inverted commas, meaning that other senior judges basically disagreed with you and your interpretation.
Yeah.
You understand? So basically that's what happened. So that can happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the first time or the last time.
No, it would not. Well, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I want to say to the Ministry of Education, you all need to be teaching, like in your social studies. Students seem not to know a lot of things about past history. I don't know what did this teach in social studies in secondary school. But I know in primary school, they do it because my grandchildren come home with who was the first prime minister. I was looking at, they'll be asking people in the streets. They was asking people in the streets questions. And they asked this young girl, she looked like 17, 18. Who was the first prime minister? And this young girl, like the guy asked her, who was the first prime minister of the United States? She was at a loss. And I say, my God.
I would be at a loss too because the United States had no prime minister.
No. I mean, who is the first prime president? Thanks, Richard, for the correction. How could you? We don't have much.
I knew very well what you meant.
Yeah.
How the hell you can know who was our first prime minister? Lord, I'm shame for South people.
And how old this individual looks like?
She looks like 17, 18.
Yeah,
a young person. A young girl, 17, 18, and she couldn't answer, and she asking a friend who was signing up across the road, and the person across the road is who tell her, Dr. Eric Williams. I said, Jesus Christ. Nah, man, that was embarrassing. No way.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I just want to highlight that. Poliel seem, I think the Ministry of Education needs to do social studies, bringing in these things also in secondary school, because they do it in the primary school, but like when they reach secondary school, they forget. Jeez, my God.
This minister, he doesn't like to do interviews at all.
Who is that?
Dr. Dowlat. He doesn't seem
no, yes, I hardly see or hear anything from him, you know.
Yeah, I've never even seen him at a post-cabinet meeting, actually. You know?
Well, most ministers, to me, don't seem like they like to do interviews. There are only a couple that talk a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if that is a deliberate something, but I don't know. I can't seem to get them to get comments, something from them. They're always pointing in a different direction.
Yeah, but he just seems to have a kind of very quiet personality, you know. But I mean, a lot has happened in education, but you're not really hearing from him, you know, as opposed to the ministers under the PNM, like Anthony Garcia and Nan Gatsby Dolly. They were always in the news and always saying something.
Different people, different styles. And people, that's where we're going to have to leave it for today. But we're going down Citrus, and we're going to pick up 2 coconut and come back.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me, Sir Charles. Scandal in Citrus is on this weekend. Theater has begun for 2026. And it starts tomorrow night at the Central Bank Auditorium with Scandal in Cedrus and continues on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are available at the Central Bank box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. That's your best place to get tickets in a sense, because you're sure they would have or have access to or could tell you where to get it. 12 noon to 6 p.m. they open at the Central Bank Auditorium box office on Lower St. Vincent Street. You can also get tickets at K Squared Fashions in West Mall, Eastgate, and Brentwood Mall. Of course, K Squared, West Mall, and in Chagonas and Brentwood Mall don't have any more tickets for Saturday. But you can still get tickets for Sunday's night show there. You can also get tickets now at the other outlets: Electronics in Arima, Jabili Rawe in Tunapuna, Anthony's, but I don't think Anthony's Florals has any tickets anymore. And either Saturday or Sunday. And of course in Charfleur, Auto Services in Charfleur. And I know Charfleur also has limited tickets left. So get your tickets. And online sales for Saturday night show are now completely sold out. So you can't purchase tickets online for Saturday night show. You can still purchase for Sunday. So that's it. So we're looking forward to it. It's been very exhausting this week. So my apologies for entering late for a couple of times this week. But it has been exhausting.
But you very early on Monday.
No, you're apologizing for being absent Monday one time?
No, don't put that in the atmosphere. No. He will be here very early on Monday.
He will not be here, Sir Charles. Come on.
I will try my best. But so we look forward to it. So we're going to have a fantastic time. And of course, just reminding you that NewEraTTRadio.com continues and on NewEraTTRadio.com and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn, where you can listen to the excellent programming throughout the rest of the day.
All right. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. And thank you all for joining us today, especially the folks in the chat who sometimes are afraid to call, But thank you very much.
Remind them about this afternoon, Wendell.
Sorry? Oh, yes. This afternoon, don't forget the prize given for karaoke is taking place at Rumbox on Western Main Road in St. James.
What number of Western Main Road you all are?
137 Western Main Road,
37.
St. James. It's right before Eufees, right after Subway and before Eufees. All right? You can't miss it. Right in that space there. You can, well, look for parking on the proper side of the road. Up until 6 o'clock. It's a one-side parking in that area, right? But we try and accommodate a couple of people in the compound just to deal with the prize giving itself, right? Because the compound is really where people line, right? In the driveway is where people hang out, right? So, folks, I'll see you all this afternoon, and of course, have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Richard, I will try to come here on a little plaything tomorrow. I come Sunday. So they have a baby, I have a child party to go to. You know?
Why you have a child party to go to, and then which child you have?
I don't have a child, but somebody has a child that they came specifically for that.
I thought they said they claim. You had me make me jump there.
They came.
Richard, he make me jump there. I say claim. Who say no?
The claim is his child.
No. I stopped 20 years ago. 21 actually. You know?
You hang up your guns.
Yeah. Well, I never hung up the gun, but
you only fired blanks. Like Corey, you only fired blanks.
Hey, you only be able to yourself. You're on radio still.
All right, okay.
Folks, have a good weekend. See you on Monday, please, God. Right?
Yeah, it's Friday, so put a smile on your face. The weekend has begun, and this has been The Breakfast Show.
It's a Friday, baby. Stuck on you. Opa. I got this feeling in my soul that I just can't lose. Doesn't know. Yes, I'm on my way. DJ Jazzy on the remix, baby. Needed a friend, hey. And the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. South Africa to the world. Yes, I'm on my way. Shake what your mama gave ya. Hey.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show